So the Golden State Warriors have the number 2 pick, and with them being in a peculiar situation, with most people expecting them to be a title contender next season, and most teams that are contenders aren't this high up in the draft. So it's kind of difficult to predict who they will select or what they will trade the pick for. But in today's video, I'll be talking about who I think they should select and why. Please like this video to show support and help my channel grow. Subscribe to the channel to help me reach 500 subscribers before the end of 2020. And comment on this video to start a conversation with me. And play that intro. After losing Kevin Durant in the 2019 offseason, the Warriors were really bad due to Steph and Klay's injuries. But just 1 year since Durant's departure, the Warriors now appear to be at the top of the NBA, with them now having a returning healthy Steph, Klay, and a Draymond who is a third option. Not to mention Andrew Wiggins, who was an efficient 20 points per game scorer this season. But if the Warriors draft James Wiseman, he will be a perfect fit because the Warriors' projecting starting lineup pre-draft is Steph, Klay, Wiggins, Draymond, and likely Kevon Looney. But after hearing those names, you realize there is an imposter. All of those guys are elite to good starters, all except Kevon Looney. And if the Warriors draft Wiseman, he can slide into that starting spot. Wiseman is a very good finisher, and he can be a very good lob target with Steph and Draymond. And Wiseman seems like he can post up, so that gives the Warriors another option to score. Wiseman is not projected to be a great defender, but it can be good for him if he starts his career in a culture and on a team like Golden State, who can help him be smarter on defense and just smarter as a player. And it would be way better than a team like Detroit or Charlotte. James can run pick and rolls with Steph, and he is also projected to be an okay shooter, and Golden State is a team that likes threes. So I pretty much think James is the most seamless and perfect pick, and I think the Warriors should draft him because they're a team that doesn't need a prospect, and they should draft for fit because they're in a position where they have the luxury to do that. But what I do think the Warriors will do is draft Anthony Edwards or LaMelo Ball, because I believe that they think Edwards or LaMelo have way higher potential than Wiseman, and they will try and develop them from the bench. But I still think Wiseman is the right pick. If the Warriors draft LaMelo Ball, he will most definitely be coming off the bench, and I can't decide whether that's a good or bad thing for the Warriors, because I think LaMelo has the best potential, but I believe the Warriors are in more of a need of a big man like Wiseman. But having LaMelo along Steph, Klay, and Dre has some pros and cons to it. The pros is that he gets to learn from some of the greatest players in history, and his ceiling can probably be higher than it will be on a rebuilding team. And I think if LaMelo is drafted by the Warriors, he will not put up as much crazy stats, and he would be than he would on a worse team. But I think when Steph and Klay is older, he will be super good and take over that spot. But maybe LaMelo's a player who needs a lot of freedom, and coming off the bench will ruin his potential. So I don't know, only the future can tell. But now to discuss LaMelo actually playing for the Warriors, I think he could be a pretty good backup guard for them who can space the floor and create plays. But I don't think he would have a chance at winning the Rookie of the Year or having a Ja Morant or Luka Doncic type season. There has been many reports that if available, they will draft LaMelo, and I think that it is very likely, and I think if the Warriors really want to win a championship in the next 2 to 3 years, they shouldn't draft him. If the Warriors draft Anthony Edwards, it will be a similar to the LaMelo Ball situation, because the Warriors' only weak link in their starting lineup is Kevon Looney, who is a center, and Anthony can't play that position, and unless he comes out the gate better than Andrew Wiggins, which is a possibility, Anthony will be coming off the bench as like a project type player, and I don't think he will come into the NBA as impactful as you would think, and I think he'll be more of a project rather than a right now player, and I don't think he'll be trash or anything, but I think if the Warriors want to win, person they should draft for fit. But Anthony, just like LaMelo, would benefit from being on a good team with good mentors like Steph, Clay, and Draymond, and they can teach him many things that can make him a way better player than if he were to get drafted by Minnesota or Charlotte. Anthony is projected to be a solid shooter and an excellent finisher at the rim, and he's also projected to be a good, strong, and athletic defender if he gives good effort. But I don't think it's likely that they draft him, and I think they'll look elsewhere. Another route the Warriors might take is to trade the pick, and they would do this if they believe that no one they can get is a player who can help them immediately, and if they wanted a definite player who they would immediately know what he's bringing to them. The first trade I'll discuss is the Warriors trading Andrew Wiggins and the number 2 pick to Atlanta for Clint Capella and the number 6 pick. And this trade would get the Warriors off of Wiggins' large contract while giving them an athletic, above-average center in Capella. And even though they would give up the number 2 pick, they would get back the number 6 pick and still have a chance to draft a good prospect for the future. And for Atlanta, they will get Andrew Wiggins, a somewhat efficient 20-point scorer who can help take pressure off Trae Young, and they would also get the number 2 pick, which gives them a chance to draft a star-level player like Edwards, LaMelo, or Wiseman. So both teams would improve with this trade. Another trade would be the Warriors trading the number 2 pick, Andrew Wiggins, and the 2021 Minnesota pick they received from the D'Angelo Russell trade to Indiana for Miles Turner and TJ Warren. This trade would give the Warriors a good starting center in Miles Turner who can protect the rim and space the floor, and they would get an efficient high-teen scorer in TJ Warren who looked like a star in the bubble. I think a move like this would be great for them to compete this year, and it would be a great move to make them good right now. The Pacers would get a good young star with the 2nd pick to retool around and a 20-point scorer in Wiggins who can take TJ's role. Another trade they can do is give up the 2nd pick, Andrew Wiggins, and the Minnesota 2021 first-round pick to the Washington Wizards for Bradley Beal. This trade would give the Warriors a big 4 of Steph, Clay, Dre, and Beal. Beal would fit well along them because he is an amazing shooter who can play well off the ball and go off the dribble. This trade would give Washington a bunch of pieces to rebuild. To finish this video off, I think the move the Warriors should do is the Pacers trade because it would arguably make them an instant contender to get out of the West. And if they don't do a trade, I think they should draft Wiseman because of the fit. But the more realistic thing that will happen is them drafting LaMelo or Edwards if they are available. And if the most realistic trade that I said is the Beal one because there has been many rumors about it. The Warriors are in a great position right now and the league should be scared.